Hello folks and welcome back to Mindustry. We're in here and we have some new stuff we can look at. Previously we went over and took care of some areas, and I think today's just going to be kind of a catch up, not dive into new stuff like windswept islands or our biomass synthesis facility. I think we're just going to go kind of do something around the craters maybe, just to try to see if we have some relatively safe spots that we can do some things with. Like this one over here, I don't want to do that. It has a high threat area. We're just going to go to one of these as a low threat area, and we'll launch into it, and we're just going to see if we can upgrade some of our tech, see if we just in general have a good feeling about all the stuff that we've unlocked over the past few little bits here. So we're going to max out everything, and we're going to launch. What do you mean insufficient core resources? Okay. There we go. We'll launch into that. Oh, our core is taking off, and we are off. Okay, so that's new. I don't remember that happening before. We have a couple updated resources that are in here. So it looks like we have our lead, coal, copper. It's all well and good. There's some old stuff over here that I don't know. Water extractor, a cultivator, some other stuff that we have there, which looks cool. We have lots of water, which is exciting. And wow, lots of water. And I'm assuming the bad guys are going to be coming from all the way up here, somewhere in this area. Let's unpause it and fly up there and just see where they're coming from. And then we can kind of decide what path we want to take from there. All that water is going to be interesting, though. I haven't had a world that has that much water before. Okay, so they're coming from this area, which means we could probably do something in here to stop them, to get them set up so that they're not bothering us too much. And there's just not a lot of super great resources here. It's also pretty wide open. But if we go down farther, it's just all water. So we're probably going to build some stuff here, just try to bottle them up at this area. And then once we have that, then we can kind of focus on that a little bit. So let's just zoom in here and take a look at what we have. I've gotten a lot of suggestions on different ways of doing things, because I think everybody has their own way of kind of doing it. And I appreciate everybody who's left suggestions. A few of them have been about like not going through and using lots of duos all the time, which I definitely understand and agree with. I'm just going to do it here to get started with, just so I have some basic protections. And then once we have that established, we can go in and start actually upgrading all of our resources for something a little better. But let's just get the basic parts set up here. And I guess I should build some air support as well, with some scatters in here. But the suggestions as they're building were a couple-fold. One was to not just use duos, but use bigger guns. So we have lots of other options here, and suggestions were to actually start using some of those bigger guns. Basically, bigger gun equals more firepower, which equals more better. So that's one way we could go about this. The other thing that I heard from a couple of people was to make sure that we're kind of treating this game not as a wall defense game, but more along the lines of a tower defense game, which is not something I've actually considered before. So I appreciate those suggestions, because I really haven't thought of this game as tower defense before. But that's an interesting kind of take on how you can approach this game. I kind of like the idea of that. So the idea here is that we're not going to build these long kind of walls. We're going to kind of just try to guide the bad guys to where we want them to be in our stuff, and then we can kind of have a little bit more power on what we're doing here. So I appreciate all those suggestions. I will 1000% be taking them into consideration. I'm just trying to get the initial setup here going, and then once I have that, we can kind of dive into some of those suggestions. This world is really not, I'm not trying to make this one like a solid great world. Really what I'm looking for is just trying to generate some additional work here to get everything set up. And one of the other suggestions I saw was just use your mouse wheel to rotate. So I'm doing that now. Thank you for that. Again, I am, as I've hopefully said multiple times here, I am not an expert at this game by any means. And I appreciate any of the suggestions that have come in, because there's lots of people far smarter than me and far better at this game than me. And I'm going with that. So I'm just going to kind of just set up an initial line here. It's kind of flimsy. There's not a lot of area here that we can do a whole lot with, and that's kind of by design, because I really want to make sure that I start trying to take some of those suggestions in, and it's not on a world that really matters a whole bunch. So we're just going to try to go in and get some of this basic stuff set up, getting those in there, and then maybe from there we can move forward and try out some of these suggestions. So we have all of these guys loading up with ammo. I can also water cool those, I believe, because we do have the pipes and stuff, and this is all stuff I want to play with a little bit more. We have we have lots of stuff we can do things with here. So my goal in this world is not necessarily to make sure everything works the way that we have here, but it's more to kind of play with it and see what's going on. Oh, and we are out of copper. Okay. So hopefully we'll be okay down there for a little bit, because we need to generate some copper. Wow, this is a really big map. All right, there's our core. So we have not a ton of copper here. We're just going to have to gather some of this up, and then we can build in some of our automatic ones, but we need to get all of this stuff set first before we can really play with this a little bit more. Alright, so that looks good. I'm going to do something like that. And we'll do those two. And I'm just bringing these down around the coal there, because I'm thinking we're probably going to need coal at some point to be a resource for us. That we have down here, more copper. Awesome. So there's not a ton of copper that's flying in here, so hopefully our supply that's going to be making its way over to our core will help us out greatly here in just a little bit. Okay. So we have those. Cool. I'm just trying to get far enough away right now so I can... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still in build mode, so it's not going to do anything until we satisfy the beginning parts of build mode here, which we should be able to take care of this last one here shortly. There we go. So that's all built, and let's go gather some copper now. I guess I didn't leave with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm also recording this as the 7th version of this game is dropped. So back on the maps area here, you go in, you can see there's a new planet, which is not something we had before. So this is where we're currently at. If I click over to the other planet, you can see there's a whole nother planet, and that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at over there. Yeah. So if we take a look, we should be able to see our other planet right there, which I'm kind of excited about that. I haven't explored it yet because clearly I'm still in kind of early stages of this one. But as we get better at this, as it moves forward, we will definitely be exploring all of the options we have for the upcoming version of this game. Alright, we have our first round of bad guys coming our way. So we'll have to explore what that looks like. Oh, there he is. Okay, so they flew past the air defenses for the most part and came down this way over in the black. So hopefully this area here will be able to better support that. And just taking a look from where they would have come from. Yeah, they just went straight down here. Okay, not a big deal. We have that. We have our little duo area, which is not all that well done, but that's okay. And we'll probably put in some additional, maybe some air resources down here. Yeah, probably something in this area here just to help out with our get some scatters going in there. and then we'll figure out what we're doing after that. Alright, so we have that. We'll go Scattertown, which I think we'll start there, and then we'll just kind of build upwards from there. Alright, and we should be able just to copy and paste. Go one more. Because again, I'm a little crazy when it comes to this game and how I like to do things. I apologize. Just how I work. And I guess, get a scatter there. Alright, we have a bad guy coming. Hopefully there's only one of them, and hopefully it's a air-based one. Still in the air. Oh. Okay, he's sitting there trying to fight that stuff. I don't care about that. But we do need to make sure that we protect that area down a little ways, because that's where they're coming in at. So we're just going to build that there and drop a resource line coming down, and then we can put some scatters over here. So that's where they seem to kind of want to come, so we're just going to allow them to do that. Alright, so we have those resources coming down. We'll probably have to add some defenses to it, but for right now, that's okay. But we're going to definitely have to add on some stuff significantly here to make sure that we have everything we need. And we'll also probably build more stuff in this area here, because there's lots of things we can do, just lots of things we can do stuff with. I just have to remember what some of these things do. So an incinerator, I don't need that. The pulverizer, that does something good, doesn't it? What does it do? Crushes scrap and fine sand into what? Okay. A separator. Okay. The melter, if I remember right, is how we get the metaglass. No, this is slag or something. Okay, we'll figure it out. Let's see where they're actually coming from here. So yeah, they're coming from way out there. And let's just see if there we go. Our scatters did their job. They've made quick work of that. So let's go in now and build up some of this area here, because we just need to have more resources, and we don't have a whole lot that's being super useful to us right now. Where's it? Okay, so we're not far off of our core here. I think we're just going to run that along this line and have it head up into there like so, and that should be well and good. Alright, and then this one's not really doing anything for us right now, because of that, so we'll just have it split off, and that should help us out a whole bunch as well. Just make sure we fill up as many belts as we can. I might do the same thing here. Just put a router there and have that one dump in. Not really super necessary. This isn't supplying all that much stuff to us, but it's supplying more than what we have here. So next round is coming. I just want to see if it's going to... Looks like it's definitely air-based, because we're flying over into black here. It's almost like these are like little patrol ships, and just what's up. That one even saw it just a little bit. There's a little blip there, but it saw it. All right, so let's go in here. We have lots of stuff. We have like just a ton of coal here, which is unusual, because usually that seems to be the resource that is one that we have to really fight to try to get, and I'm totally here for there being lots of coal. So this line and then this line, we're gonna make one of these into area 4. Actually, let's do both here. So we're gonna build on some combustion. What's a thermal generator? There was a comment about that before. Generates power when placed in hot locations. Okay, somebody did talk about that. There was a spot that was apparently glowing. I have to go back to that world and see it. But apparently you can put those on top of there and it will function. The steam generator converts power by burning flammable materials and converting water into steam. Okay, so we need water, coal, and what does it produce? Produces power, obviously, but how much power? Because if it's better than a combustion generator, I want that. So production time is 2 seconds, and it makes 60 power per second. If we go over to the steam generator, what does that do? Steam generator, whoa, 330? Okay, so obviously we're going there because we have a source of water right there. Beautiful. So mechanical pump, liquid tank, liquid router, junction, and conduit bridge. So the pump here, it doesn't require power. It does cost some stuff to build, but we have metaglass, I think. Do we? Yeah, we do. Okay, we have tons of that. And it makes 10 units of a liquid. Okay, so we're going to just experiment here. So that has to be built on water. I don't know why I can't build in the deeper areas there, but I can build stuff there. So we have that. We're going to go in with our steam generator. And let's see, we're just going to have that go up there like so. We'll have a battery. We'll have the power node connect those two things, even though I don't think that's really necessary, but it makes me feel better. We'll do a whole bunch of routers. Where's my liquid router? There they are. So all of those are going to feed that, and then we can have that come across and pop on down here. And then this one should be able to go into it, I think. We'll find out. So that has water. Yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Look at that. We have our pumps going through here, which are feeding the water. We are clearly generating. Look at it. It's moving, dancing, doing its thing. All right. I'm really happy with that. Okay. So let's take a look closer back towards our core here. Wow, we don't have a lot of ways to get down to the core, actually. We have to do everything through kind of roundabout methods. All right. So I think the next thing that we want to do is set up some graphite and some metaglass and just kind of do the normal kind of production thing. Just to make sure we have resources for exploring some of our other options here. So this is going to be our graphite production. And then we'll have to set one up for our silicon as well. Make sure we have that. But this is going to be primarily our graphite press area. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then one of those gets a router. I should save this as a blueprint. Oh, hold on. Oh boy. Okay. So they've taken a different route to our spot here. Okay. See, there's never a dull moment. That's fine. We can rebuild that very quickly and easily. Like so. And then we need to make sure that we have some air defenses around that. So this guy right here, we're actually going to remove these because I want to have us be able to protect that area going up and then maybe over. This probably is a terrible design, but that's okay. So there we go. That should protect that area for now, but we will add some additional scatters down here a little bit just to continue that line. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Now we can focus our energies on some really simple graphite production. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the router in the first spot and then the sorter in the second spot. And that sorter is looking for graphite. And there we go. Okay. Well, let's take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so they flew over here. They should just get whacked out of the sky. Perfect. I like that they're just avoiding this whole open area. They saw kind of a weakness and they went after it. I should probably build an air defense somewhere over here as well because eventually they're going to go through and do that, but that's okay. So we're good with that. We've already filled up all of our power supply here. So maybe we will provide some additional batteries, I guess. I had no idea a steam generator just produced so much power. That's incredible. And it doesn't look like it uses up a whole bunch of resources overall to do its thing. So that's fantastic. All right. Now we can focus back on getting these resources that we have all the way back down and over and then back down here. All right. Alright, so we'll bring this one here. I know it's going to shoot off some of the stuff to the side. That's fine. This is completely stupid. There's no reason to bring it down there, but it's just my tendencies make me have to follow the rest of the belts in order there. It just would bother me if it didn't. So I'm happy with that. This is going to condense a little bit more here in a second. Once we start having this stuff come through, it should stop shooting out those quite as much to that side. But it doesn't really matter how much it shoots them out. That's fine. Let's see where we at with bad guys here. Oh, there they are. All right, maybe we'll put some menders on here because, no, they're still good on everything. They're not getting close enough to really do any real damage. But I am going to try to start with our production of the silicon smelter here. So we probably are going to want to have some additional stuff here. So let's just be reminded here we need coal and sand, and it's going to produce the silicon. So that's all well and good. Let's see here. So I think we're just going to have 2 of these to get started with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are getting routers. Those are going to get junctions. The junctions are going to be going back even further. Nope, not that one. Junction, junction. And then another router. Again, I should really save all of these as blueprints at some point, but I just haven't done that. All right, so we're going to feed probably sand. I'll probably mine sand right along here into there, and then we'll have our coal come down the other way. So let's just get that set up for the initial stages here. We'll also be able to power that whole mess there. So we need to have something like that. And then we'll go in here and get this area set and ready to go. We also had another guy that was showing up over there somewhere. What is that? That's just a darker area, okay. But we are going to probably want to address some of this stuff because we have guys crashing in here causing us problems. So we'll go in and get a mender in there real fast, because that's going to continue to be an issue. Oh! Okay. We lost. Okay, I have no idea what that was, but we'll figure that out down the road here. And thanks for watching, and I'll try to figure out why everything went terrible there. But I'll catch you in another one. If you have suggestions for me of what the heck just happened or what that thing even is, let me know, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.